It's a beaten up animal that pulled them all away, rushing me around and setting me straight. Don't you lie to me, as we're finally got a handle on the doors that we open and shut. Packing up my suitcase, I'm going far away. I'm going to the place where the credit cards don't decline on me, as we're finally got a handle on the doors that we open and shut. Ooh, ooh. She took her time, took my mind, but forget mine. Me, my frame of mind, we took our time, but she took mine. Ooh. Ooh. We're remotely secluded in this faraway place, heading to the land where everything is okay. Don't think suddenly that you and me got a handle on the doors that we open and close. Take a little time and go balance your ways, 'cause everything we do and we put on display. Maybe you and me are a little the same. So what do you think of what we made? She took her time, took my mind, forget mine. Me, my frame of mind, we took our time, but she took mine. So that is Rum Rage by Sticky Fingers. A very great song, TBH, because that is extraordinary. Makes me want to cry up and makes me want to tear up a lot. So every podcast now I'll be doing a song at the start, which is going to be very unique. And all the girls are going to go crazy, especially my girlfriend Millie. So I'm very excited for that opportunity, of course, because it'd be great for me to show the world my singing voice at the same time doing podcasts. So I really appreciate if you like and subscribe and share and press the notification button so that you can get your videos on time and on perfection. So let's talk about the Sydney fucking COVID situation. It's fucked over there. Currently today there was 146 cases, where yesterday there was, or 2 days ago it was like 163, and yesterday was 141. So basically they're fucked. They're getting more than 100 cases a day. They're pretty much screwed for like July, August, and mid-September. I'm really worried that my comedian, one of my favourite comedians in the world, Friendly Geordies, aka Jordan Shanks, won't be able to get to Perth because Perth has a very strict border. So I'm really hoping that he can like maybe quarantine in a different state, like maybe Darwin or something, so that he can do his shows, because I really love friendly Geordies, and I really love Luke Kidgel as well. But Luke Kidgel's from Melbourne, but he's a mad lad that he escaped Melbourne and got to Northern Territory pretty quickly. So yeah, Sydney are basically fucked to the max. So on my Instagram DMs, I got sent in a question by Felicity, and she said, if I had to live in a different country, where would I live? Now that's a good question. Because I wouldn't live in Southeast Asia. I wouldn't live in New Zealand. I wouldn't live in South America. I don't even think I'll live in USA. There's too many guns in the USA. I don't know. Thinking. So, maybe USA. Alright, maybe USA. UK, nah. Europe, maybe. Because there's a couple places, so definitely. And I'll pick my top three. Top four. It's 4 places. Like I would live, probably Hungary. That'll be amazing. Budapest. Somewhere where my friend lives, in that sort of area. Sweden. Love Sweden. I would live in Denmark, and I'll live in New York or Seattle, because one of my friends, she's just over in America, so I want to see her sometime. It's just so hard with the borders and everything, so it's very hard because of COVID, so can't really go in America at the moment, but hopefully one day Ashy Boy can make it to America. Wish I could travel with my girlfriend, honestly, because that would be great to the max. So yeah, top 5 places I would live in. Probably Sweden's my 5th, Denmark 4th, Hungary 3, New York 2nd, and Seattle number 1. Alright, time for the big segment, Ashy Boy segment. It's the footy segment, when I'm going to be talking about shit about all the teams. So let's get a rundown from every team, alphabetical order, and we can explain what happened during this round. So let's get started with the Adelaide Crows. So the Adelaide Crows had a great win against Hawthorn, and they had a really good lead, and I was proud of them. But I didn't tip Adelaide, so fuck them. So, you know, they did play well, but Hawthorn were pretty shit, to be honest. And honestly, I don't rate Adelaide. They're not going to make the top 8. They're bottom 4 side. They're kind of clinging not to be bottom 4. So I still give them a D plus, even though they're sort of strugglers at the moment. I don't really rate their season, so I'll give it a D. So Brisbane had a Queensland clash of the derbies against Gold Coast, which was a very good game. Gold Coast were winning first quarter and half time, but then pretty much after that it was, you know, game over. Like Brisbane kicked 13 unanswered goals, and it just went crazy for them. Like they went absolutely ballistic. So I give praise to Brisbane for winning that, because they had to win that game so they could get into that, you know, top 4, you know, type spot. So I like where they're at. Hopefully they keep on going. So we'll wait and see what happens. Let's talk about Carlton, because honestly, Carlton played like dog shit. And I fucking hate that. They played so trash that that I wanted to spew out my guts and then eat that guts like the cat or dog would eat that guts, probably the cat. And the cat froze up and the dog because Geelong Cats and the Western Bulldogs are the best teams and they're throwing up all the crap from their mouths because Carlton are that sort of dog shit you pick up from the ground or sometimes when you step on it. So Carlton are crap. They are one of the worst teams in the AFL. I don't really see them doing anything next year. I don't see them making the finals in the next 6 years. No hope. There is no hope for Carlton. And I'll be back just in 1 second because I've got to shut this fucking door. Yeah, brah. Yo, Ashley boys back. So I was talking about Carlton and how they were pretty shit because Carlton are shit ass. All right, let's talk about Collingwood. So Scott Pendlebury, their skipper, got the old broke his leg. He did break a leg. So kind regards to Scott Pendlebury. Hopefully he recovers. So yeah, they're a struggler team. They're playing like dog shit anyway. So yeah, there's nothing much to say about Collingwood season. They've only like got like one win, out of the possible like I don't know how many fucking games there are, like 19. So they're pretty trash. So I don't really rate them. Essendon. Bad loss for them. They could have won that game, but they just they didn't do well in the second half, and I think as well as like the team's been full of promise, I think maybe if they miss this one and like this final series and then make the finals next year, maybe they do something, but I don't know because I don't really rate GWS as a final side. I don't really know. The Essendon are tough because they had a tough loss, and it's crap that they're not in the top 8. So hopefully they can improve on some of the games they play because I know I think 3 out of their 4 last games are really tough, so it's going to be a challenge for them if they can pick up some wins. Let's talk about Dockers. Let's just say they got choked, and I think they won't make finals, to be honest. Sorry to all the Dockers supporters. I think you got to realise that your team, I don't know, they're quite behind to some of the teams in the top 8. They'll make it next year, but I'm convinced that they won't make it this year. That Fife season-ending injury, just pretty devastating. It's honestly like one of the biggest like depressive games because your star player gets injured, and then your other star player, Michael Walters, who hasn't really been a star, more like a bloody shooting star, which cuts in half, butchered his hamstring. So I think they're both going to be out for the rest of the season, so don't expect them to come back. Yeah, absolutely devastating news for Dockers. They're not great this year. They're not good, but they're not bad. They're just above average, okay alright side. They're an alright side. So just I don't see them really doing much at all. Let's talk about the Cats, because we fucking beat Richmond twice now. So good. Yeah. See these big muscles? That's my big muscles there, my big muscles there. So, yeah, absolutely great. Honestly, one of the best things, best wins of the year. Hawkins, amazing. I wish he kicked more goals, but I hate that Harry McKay is the Coleman, because I really don't rate him. I don't call him a superstar. I just call him alright. I don't really rate Harry McKay, so if anyone wants to criticise, just comment below, because I don't really rate him, to be honest. It's kind of crap anyway. Doesn't get much the ball, he just kicks goals. All I do is I'm going to kick the goals in between the goalposts. It's like, yes, that's what a forward does, but you've got to be prolific in disposal count and etc. and etc. So yeah, Geelong are just amazing. We're one of the biggest alpha teams, and I reckon we're one of the biggest threats to teams coming into finals in general. So watch out, because Geelong is going to win the fucking flag. Gold Coast. Let me explain this. They're doing alright. They're doing okay. They're doing alright. It was a bad loss against Brisbane because they were winning that game, but they got really, really tired, I think. The younger players got, pretty tired, so... Oh, and also, I'm a very tired boy. So, yeah, wasn't too great against that team, so... Yeah, hopefully it all goes well for them and they do okay. I don't really expect them to do super amazing, but hopefully they, get maybe 1 or 2 more wins, and then they can say their season was I thought it was going to be a failure. They were probably about 5 to 6 weeks ago, I was questioning their capability as a side. Now I'm kind of they're not too bad. They beat Richmond, and that's an amazing goal. The way Richmond's playing, which I'm going to talk about later, is atrocious and dog shit. So we'll talk about Richmond soon. So yeah. GWS. Oh yeah. So GWS are back in the top 8, and I think Jesse Hogan being the side has really added a dynamic X factor to already good side. I rate GWS as a side. Not really. I don't not really rate them as a side. For top 8 especially. I feel they're more a team that would be 9th on the ladder. Because I haven't really been watching a lot of the GWS games. I haven't really gone, oh yeah, here we go, GWS. I've sort of gone, oh yeah, GWS. A few years ago, I was like, yeah, GWS, they're a threat. When they had a lot of their star players in there. Jeremy Cameron was, of course, my favourite player from GWS, and now he's my second favourite player at Geelong. Yeah, it's just big. Well, I'm so fucking tired. I don't know. I want to fucking punch a wall or something. But, yeah. So, yeah, I don't really rate GWS. They're kind of crappy. Mediocre. I don't really rate them. But, yeah. Let's talk about Hawthorn. So Hawthorn. I reckon they're the worst side in the AFL, to be honest. TBH, they played like dog shit. They lose to LA Crows, who also have been playing like dog shit the past few weeks. And Hawthorn are just atrocious. And they're worse than North Melbourne at the moment. So they are the worst team in the AFL. Clarkson needs to go and they need to bring Sam Mitchell in straight away. Get rid of Clarkson. I do not care that he won, 4 premierships. He's one of the greatest coaches in the world. But I do not give a shit. Get rid of him. Alright? Because I got expectations. Expectations for a win. So that's my very sarcastic voice right there. So yeah, I don't really rate Hawthorn, and I think they are one of the worst sides in the AFL. Alright, let's talk about Melbourne. Melbourne, I've got a reality check. They might lose the prelim to the Geelong Cats. Yeah, so Melbourne, not too good. Pretty bad. Oh my fucking god. So Melbourne are pretty bad. They're playing some atrocious footy at the moment, and not too proud of Ben Brown. I don't know why they got him. I think Ben Brown should have stayed at North, to be honest. I don't really rate Melbourne like at the moment as premiership favourites. Finals, of course, prelim, of course, semi-final, of course. I don't rate them as a premiership shot. I don't rate them as a premiership side at the moment. So, will they win the premiership? I don't think so. Will they make a prelim? Yes. I feel at the moment, by the way, like all the teams are playing, it's going to be a Geelong versus Western Bulldogs side. So that's what I expect, because I have high expectations in life, and I go into things with high expectations that I'm going to have a good time, that I'm going to enjoy life. Melbourne, they're like the melted ice cream in the freezer, You just don't want it. Alright. North Melbourne are very, very exciting, actually. So North Melbourne are going and playing competitive footy, which I'm so proud of the boys. Like, come on. Like, you gotta love it, you gotta love how they're playing and what they're doing and everything. Like, I'm really proud of what they're achieving as a side, and hopefully they do well, and yeah, I'm proud of them. Todd Goldstein, Jaden Stevenson, amazing, absolutely amazing player. Honestly, like, praise them for what they're achieving. So hopefully they do well. Okay, Port Adelaide. So they had a good win against Collingwood. Pretty proud of them. Pretty proud of the boys. Dixon kicked 4 goals. Mitch Giardi's had a quiet game. Todd Marshall kicked a few goals as well. So I'm pretty proud of how the way they're playing and how they're playing. They just got to really step it up in terms of being in that top 4, because honestly they are pretenders for finals. So I don't really rate them. They could lose elimination final to like Eagles. So yeah, just keep an eye on Port. They might drop out in elimination final. So that's what I reckon. Richmond are dog shit. So Richmond played so bad. Honestly, do not rate them as a side. They are the worst team in the AFL. I reckon they're worse than North Melbourne. I reckon North Melbourne could beat them. The way Richmond are playing, it's like they've lost their confidence and they've lost all their dick hard energy. That they're not that great, aren't they? They're really, really not great. Nah. Bow, bow, wow. So that's how I rate them. St Kilda. Oh. St Kilda. They only just lost to Eagles by like 8 points or something. Max King. Max King played amazing. He kicked like 6 goals. They are a good side, but they had one of the worst first half of the season ever. So the second half of their season's been quite good. I'm quite proud of how they're playing in the second half. But I don't see them making finals, sadly. It's going to be hard for them to get there. So hopefully maybe next year they'll make it, but I don't really know. Because I'm very crappy. So yeah, St Kilda just, I don't know, not that great at all, average. So yeah, that's how I rate them, to be honest. Sydney Swans, yeah. Sydney Swans are very, very good. I'm worried about playing Sydney Swans in a grand final or final even. I'm scared versing them because they could be the threat that could damage teams, and I'm worried about that. So keep a lookout for Buddy if he's going to kick 1,000 goals or if he's not. So keep an eye out. West Coast Eagles, and we're here to fall down the ladder. Well, they won, but I'm so not convinced. I'm so not convinced they'll win a final. So, honestly, Tim Kelly played well, but honestly, they kind of choke. They choke in the second half. They're winning by 5 goals. Then they nearly lost. Come on. Come on. It's just, you can't just do that and then expect to win a final. I don't rate them as a final side anyway, so yeah, Eagles, not great. Western Bulldogs, yeah, Geelong's second biggest threat. Because it could be a Bulldogs Sydney Swans grand final if Geelong doesn't make it. So Bulldogs, Cody Waitman took a spectacular mark, and I'm really proud of him taking that spectacular mark. They played really well, and they, did their best to win that game against Melbourne. They won by 20 points, which was well deserved, and all the tipsters will be thinking, oh no, my tips have gone very bad. I only got 4 or 5 tips out of 9. So that's how it's going to be. So yeah, that is the end of the AFL segment, and let's get on to OnlyFans. So OnlyFans, I did some research on that stuff, and honestly, it is pretty bad. And I reckon OnlyFans audience is more for people that are lonely, and it's sad. And also it's very addictive, so just make sure if you're doing OnlyFans, great. If you want to, post photos of yourself, great. If you want to send nudes of your ass or whatever, do that. Love yourself, love yourself. Do some love yourself videos. You got to be, you got to do what you got to do. But if you love yourself, if you love your body, just do what you want to do. That's what I care about. If you care about the content that you put out, which I want to mention this for one of my favourite podcasts in Perth, the Being Human Show, and he's taking an indefinite leave for the next few months. I'm not sure when he's going to come back, but hopefully he'll come back before the summer, maybe spring, maybe September, when things start heating up. So if people, I started this podcast in winter and it's very hard to get those subscriptions that I wanted. I do not care about the people that subscribe to my channel. What I care about is the content I put out for the viewers so that they can enjoy a half an hour to an hour of content, so that anything they are stressed about, anything they're worried about, they can say to themselves, hey, I've got nothing to worry about. I can watch this and enjoy myself. And that's what I want to do. I want to inspire people to do things that they love. And I want to inspire my friends, my co-workers, my heart and soul for YouTube, especially some of the people like Luke, Meg, Friendly Geordies, Buttsman, etc., Jamro and Dylan, and Lockie Harrow. I respect them so much. So much. And also, I cannot forget Post Nut Clarity, Evan and Dill. Hit them up. I respect content creators that put their own energy and their own soul into YouTube. Because once you get into the YouTube business, your soul is entrenched into YouTube. And my heart and soul is entrenched into YouTube. And I want people to be happy that they're watching me talk about shit that I love. And that's what I care about. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. I really appreciate it. If you could leave a like, subscribe, even comment down below, because I really need those followers to start going up. I'm really happy with the 29 subs that I've got now, but I really want my channel to grow and hopefully get that equipment, and then by that time have some employers once I earn a lot of money. So I really appreciate you guys so much, and I love you all, especially to Lockie Hara. You mean a lot. Hopefully get to meet you sometime. So yeah, thank you guys, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.